gone through and we've reworked and redesigned Kanal. There was a problem originally with the map where there was one connector between the two buildings, which was the flavor of the map. So we've added a second connector, so the rotation options are actually much easier. And then we've gone through and added a fourth bomb site, which means it's now ranked approved, because you need 4 bomb sites for a map to be ranked.
Two things that we look at when we're looking at maps. One is community feedback, what the community is enjoying, what they find problems with. And the other part is a lot of data that we actually get. So when we're looking at data, we're looking at win-loss rates on objectives. We're looking at things like, do they have 4 objectives that are viable on a map as well? So all of that we take into consideration, and that kind of leads us to what map we tackle next.
If you look at the original Kanal, rounds used to play very similarly, where the attacking team would wait until the last minute and then rush the bomb site rather than clear the buildings. Now it seems that people will roam more and they'll actually clear the buildings. So the pacing slows down a little bit, but it's more of a longevity to the rounds because people are actually passing through the buildings rather than being very standoffish outside and just sniping. It's going to be beneficial for people to stay inside the map and actually to roam clear. Say you're in a new building, which is the red building rather than the old building, it's going to be beneficial to actually clear and get a safe access to the other building, or at least clear that building before you even try to assault the bomb site. Now, adding more verticality to the map with line of sight floors obviously aids in that as well, because now you can attack and defend from above and below. I think you're going to find that teams on defense are going to split and roam more, but with the aided navigation and all the new routes between the two buildings, if you have to get back to the bomb site when you're defending, you can quite easily. You know, you might have a fight on the way, but that's part of the game. I think you'll find that defenders will spread out an awful lot more and attack from more fronts rather than just one. It takes a long time to balance. Players that know the map will get very familiar with it very quickly because the floor plan hasn't changed. There's an additional couple of rooms like, you know, smugglers and radio has amalgamated into one thematic, which is radio. What people are going to like are the subtle changes like archives. Archives is now wider with a destructible wall and a double door rather than a single door, so it's easier to attack. So it's still the same, but it's a little bit different. If you remember the angles between the roofs, like where you could shoot from the roof into control room, we've shut down the windows, so it still plays very similarly, and the floor plan is essentially the same. You know, white stairs extends to a new set of stairs, which aids navigation. So it's gone a little bit further, and some of the corridors have like maybe zigged and zagged a little bit, but it's still the same flow. So people will get up to speed with it very quickly. And from Outback, we learned that color coding was very important, so the stairs are different colors. You know, it aids in navigation, it aids in call-outs, so I think people will be very comfortable very quickly. The design team always look at navigation and flow as a priority, and then we start looking at the bomb site. So we always do the floor plan first. We know roughly where the bomb's going to be, they'll move around, and then we'll adjust the navigation and flow to the bomb sites. And then it comes down to a very iterative process where we start working. We have all of the walls breakable, and then we start shutting them down. We shut down all of the windows, and then we open them up. And one by one we iterate on the design. But navigation and flow is always a priority, and then it's viability of bomb sites and how you get access to those bomb sites. So the amount of times we actually change a wall from hard to soft or change the size of it, it's months and months of just playing the same bomb site and changing it and then getting feedback from the other designers and other people on the team, and obviously the pros when they come in. The new underground tunnel actually went through a number of iterations. It goes from a new room, which is diving, to just between the showers. So what it is when you're playing the new bomb site on Supplier's kayak, if you're getting pinched playing in lockers or in diving, you have an option to actually drop down and rotate. It's a risk versus reward because there's ladders at either end. So when you're coming out, you're kind of vulnerable. But if you're getting pinched, you can really use it. The tunnel did actually extend all the way to garage stairs. So it was actually another navigation point between the two maps. But it was a little bit OP. It played quite well, but it never played as well as we wanted, so we actually made it much shorter. But now it's a good aid for the defending or the attacking team to get into the building and play. We actually have players and pros come in during the process when we iterate upon the map. So we had the pros come in 3 times for this map, very early on, in the middle, and when it's not finished, but we can still make changes. And the feedback from them of all of the changes was very positive. This map's going straight to ranked. which is great. So it hits the ranked pool very early. Hopefully it will go Pro League, which is where we always want to see our maps go when we design them. And then today I've been bouncing between the press room, obviously, and the community room. And all of the feedback's been very, very good. People seem to really enjoy it. The new map will be on the test server Monday, 19th of August. And then I believe the test server runs for 3 weeks, and then it will be live from there. Theme Park, which we announced in February, is coming for Season 4. That's playing really well and it's super fun. Not that it wasn't a fun map in the first place, but now it's like there's been tweaks added to it. We're always looking. I can't say what we're working on, but we are working on stuff. That's the easiest way of putting it. There's stuff coming, and you'll find out in February at the SI when we release the roadmap what's coming for the next season. There's a lot of fun stuff, and I think the community is going to be very happy.
5 seconds to insertion.